Hey there and welcome back. We're here at near the Quechee Gorge, which is the Grand Canyon of the East, they say, and whoever named that has never been to the Grand Canyon because the gorge is kind of cool and interesting, but it really doesn't have that kind of wow factor. It's not wondrous, but anyway, beautiful area to be in. And this is the show where we're going to dissect the world of air travel with a little humor this time, and a side of existential dread. I'm your host, Charles Keegan, and if you've flown anywhere recently, you know the dread is very, very real and something we need to talk about. So, if you're like me, you've probably heard the phrase ground stop more times this summer than your own name. And speaking of ground stops, our good friend New York Liberty International Airport, or for those in the know, EWR on your ticket. And by the way, those in the know, I mean those who have been repeatedly trapped there, has been having the Monday blues. Not just any Monday, but Labor Day Monday, one of the biggest travel days of the year. Because clearly, one ground stop isn't enough. They decided to have a few. The FAA was like, nah, let's do a little 2 p.m. ground stop. No, wait, that was too quick. We got rid of that one too quick. Let's try it again at 4:30 p.m. on this holiday travel season. It's like they're practicing for the ground stop Olympics. And as of 10 o'clock that evening, arrival flights were seeing delays of up to 75 minutes. That's almost long enough to watch a full episode of a reality TV show without the rich people complaining. Hey, and what you ask was the culprit of these delightful delays? Staffing issues. Yes, folks, it wasn't a rogue flock of geese, it wasn't a sudden alien invasion, but simply a shortage of folks who staff the tower. I mean, who needs a fully staffed air traffic control system when you have the calming presence of hundreds of delayed passengers? It's a bold strategy, I tell you, a bold strategy. Now, the week before, Newark had another ground stop. I mean, these things aren't uncommon. That was due to equipment issues. That is uncommon, but becoming much more common. It impacted radio frequencies for air traffic controllers. So to recap, staffing issues, equipment issues, it's kind of like a bad game of airport bingo, and everybody there is a loser. So, what's the plan, Stan? What is the plan? I'm just asking for a friend. But wait! There's more! Of course, we can't end it there. This isn't just a recent gig. Newark Airport has been having a tough summer of travel, according to media outlets. Haha, you don't say. It's been plagued with problems since the start of the summer, with hundreds of flights canceled or delayed. United has reduced their schedule, and the reasons? Well, we have to start with runway construction. Yes, because of course it always goes smoothly and on schedule, and more equipment causing air traffic controllers to briefly lose communications on multiple occasions. And that briefly losing communication, that's like saying you briefly misplaced your car keys when they're actually in the fridge. I am sure passengers and pilots alike both appreciate those moments of aerial silence. I think not. The FAA even started limiting flights to Newark, and get this, the suggested slowdown would remain in effect until October. No, not this October. Next year, October. 2026. Really? That's almost long enough to get me recertified, and fly a plane myself so I don't have to deal with this whole commercial airline experience. Although, given my track record, that might be even more terrifying. I will stick with Jetly if I get that desperate. But fear not, intrepid travelers, the impacted runway has since reopened. Not that it's changed the schedule or anything. Hallelujah, though. And the transportation secretary said he's working on improving equipment and trained more air traffic controllers. So basically, after months of chaos, they're finally getting around to, doing their job. It's like watching a really slow motion car crash where the driver finally decides to hit the brakes after swerving through a cornfield for a while. But hey, better late than never, and I suppose, or is it? What is the actual plan? I keep asking for that friend who keeps calling. Now, things that are supposed to be improving, let's get to that. So let's talk a little bit about remote towers. Yes! Hey, don't laugh. FAA is running tests, and Winter Haven Regional Airport in Florida is trying to be the first to get approval for one. So instead of a human tower, we'll have sensors and high-definition cameras. What could possibly go wrong? It's not like cameras ever glitch or sensors ever have a bad day. Newark. What a perfect solution for an industry that has never had equipment issues. It's like they looked at all the problems and said, yeah, hey, let's do more tech. That's the answer. Because when your internet goes down, the first thing you think of is, yay, let's get more internet. Yeah, no, not really. Hey, globally there are some 30 plus towers, remote towers already in operation, with nearly a dozen more in the works. So it's not totally new, but in the US it's super new because we can't seem to get off the ground. But after some sputtering and a bunch of test cases across the country, the FAA Reauthorization Act of 2024 included provisions to re-energize the effort. And although it isn't really a priority for the brand new air traffic control system, the FAA has selected an RTX Frequentis full system designed for evaluation and testing. And they're doing that in Atlantic City. And that RTX Frequentis nomenclature, you know, it sounds like a futuristic robotic lawyer or something, which frankly I would probably trust more than some of the current systems. Just saying. So, speaking of cool stuff, we have to mention the FAA's request for solutions for the brand new world-class air traffic control system. The proposals are due next week, and social media is flooded with industry experts complaining about it. Too much risk for an impossible job, they say. Well, talk to the hand. You know, I like the RFS. I said it in a few videos back, and I like the intent. This is a massive, huge project, and we need a company that understands what that is and that this is a wartime-like effort. There is no try here. There is only do or do not. So companies that only want to try hard, take a step back. Jedis, step forward. We have a world to save, the air traffic world. A challenge? Duh. This is real stuff, and it needs to get done, or we will all have to live with Newark hell from coast to coast. I look forward to hearing who the FAA selects as their get-it-done partner. And now for some truly shocking news from the aviation world. The FAA has proposed fining Boeing over $3.1 million for safety violations, including the ones that were related to the mid-air door plug blowout on the 737 MAX 9 jet operated by Alaska Airlines back in 2024. A door plug blowout. That's not just a minor inconvenience like a crying baby on your flight. That's a holy cow. I can see the sky and hear the wind whooshing through the cabin kind of inconvenience. Way uncool. $3.1 million. Well, hey, that is a lot of money. But when you consider a door flying off midair, it almost feels like a bargain, like a fire sale. Kind of like it doesn't even count. It's just a little slap on the wrist for, you know, structural integrity issues. I have pointed out before the FAA's enforcement and fines in the category of they're worth it and serve as absolutely no deterrent at all. I mean, think about a counterpart like Takata airbags. They got fined over $500 million. Plus, each car manufacturer got to do their own suits, and they got over $100 million a piece. Now, that's a deterrent to get your shit together. So, finally, a story that sounds more like it was taken straight out of a low-budget disaster movie. A passenger flight from Detroit to Reagan National Airport had to make a go-around just before it was landing. Why? Because maintenance workers were spotted on the runway. Surprise! And it's not your birthday. Yes, on the runway at 7:05 a.m. in the morning. It's like they were planning on having an impromptu game of runway roulette. The pilot was just over 200 feet in the air. That's almost touching down when an air traffic controller, bless their heart, confirmed a vehicle on the runway and ordered the go-around. Imagine being a passenger looking out the window and thinking, is that a tractor? A John Deere, perhaps? The FAA confirmed maintenance crews were on the runway, but didn't provide any immediate details, probably because those details had involved someone having a really, really bad morning and certainly not enough coffee. Republic Airways also didn't provide any immediate comment either, probably because they're too busy collectively doing a face palming. And sidebar to that is the Republic's former CEO is now the FAA administrator. Yeah, it's complicated. And yes, the FAA is investigating, of course, and I'm sure they'll find that indeed maintenance workers should not be on the active runway when a plane is landing. This is groundbreaking stuff. Write it down. Really, world class. So there you have it, folks. Another delightful peek into the glamorous world of air travel, from staffing shortages to flying doors to maintenance crews playing chicken with landing airplanes. It's always an adventure. Makes you wonder if taking that hot air balloon isn't such a bad idea after all. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Stay safe out there, and may your flights be less eventful than a Tuesday morning at Newark. And we will see you next time.